Hi, welcome back to the Books of Lights game channel. In this series I'm giving you a preview of a game as yet to be released, the card game of Oz. This game is currently being promoted on Kickstarter and I think with a view to be released in October 2013. The copy I'm going to show you today is a version which I've printed myself. You can find the print and play files online yourself and have a crack at this. The game is for 1 to 4 players. And the playthrough I'm going to do for you today is a solitaire playthrough. So a quick look at the components, and do remember I've printed these myself, so they're not production quality at all. I've just printed these on A4 and stuck these cards to some cardboard, and these are just sleeved, some cards that I've cut out, again printed on A4, and stickered some dice. These cards here are locations, and we start by dealing 6 face down in the centre of the table. And that forms the storyline. So storyline is a concept that this game introduces, and I think the idea is that Wizard of Oz is the first book in this storyline series, and the design studio who have developed this game, Ryan's Bell, I think have a view to potentially develop the game with different stories, should Wizard of Oz prove a success. Once we've dealt the 6 locations face down to form the storyline, the remaining locations form a face down deck called a locations folio. There's also these 4 title cards. We're only going to need 2 of these when we're playing solitaire. We have 10 dice, 4 blue, 6 gold. I'm using these purple and orange dice because that's all I had handy. And then you have a library of game cards. There's a great big stack of these. So these are characters, events, effects, objects that you'll play during the course of the game. Let's get set up and then I can introduce you to the game as we play. Here we are then, set up, ready to play. On each end of the storyline you have these bookends. So this is the start on the left hand side and this is the end. Here's my library, here's my locations folio, and here's our 6 starting locations face down. And I've also got a 10-sided dice here. The rulebook suggests that you play 6 rounds for a short game, 8 for a medium and 10 for a long when playing solitaire. You can use counters or pen and paper or whatever you wish, but I'm just going to use this 10-sided dice to record that here I am, I'm starting on round 1 and we're going to play all the way through to round 6. And in these 6 rounds playing a short game is that you need to get one of your characters, and there's 2 types of characters, prime and minor. You need to get one of your prime characters from the start of the story through these 6 locations to the end of the story. And if you get one of your prime characters to the end of the story, then the game ends, and you need to do that before you run out of rounds, so in our case before the end of the 6th round. We'll begin the game by drawing 5 cards into our hand. We get Toto, an event card here. City life does not agree with me at all. Another character, Dorothy. Another character, Dorothy. And my 5th card is another character, Field Mice. Let's have a close look at these cards a minute. So Field Mice is one of these minor characters. I can't move one of these minor cards to the end title card to finish the game, but these minor characters, they can be in play on the storyline, and they'll be earning me these victory points, which the game calls vitality points. Here's Dorothy, Kansas Farm Girl. She's a prime character. So I might want to complete the game by moving Dorothy to the end title card. So that's my 5 cards, that's my hand. And we're starting round 1. I'll just pop this up here. We'll kick off the first turn, and the first thing we'll do on our turn is we'll roll these 4 blue dice. What we're looking for is the blue sides with the stars on. Alright, that's pretty good. We got 3 successes, and this blank side, that doesn't give us anything. So what these 3 successes give us is story points. I'll discard this one, and that leaves me with 3 story points to spend. So I go to my hand, and I'm looking to put some characters into play if I can. What I'd like to do is put one of these prime characters into play, so possibly Dorothy or Toto. Now Toto's only worth 2 victory points, or 2 vitality. Dorothy's worth 3 vitality. But the character that you get to the title card at the end of the storyline doesn't count its vitality points towards your score. So it's often worth finding a low valued prime to be the one that actually finishes the story. Some of these cards are going to be interactive, or they're going to be attacking cards, because their usefulness comes into play when you're playing 2 to 4 players. When you're playing solitaire, these things still have a value though. You can see this one says archive all animals at Emerald City location, so that would be a negative effect on you. So playing solitaire, this isn't an event you're going to use on yourself. So before I do anything, I'm going to discard this card, and this is called archiving. So I'll place this up in the discard pile, and this becomes our archive. And every time you voluntarily archive a card from your hand on your turn, you get to take one of these gold dice. Now these have successes only on 3 sides, blanks on 3 sides. So there's a 50-50 chance that I'll get another story point. And you get to roll this straight away. Okay, I got an extra story point, so that was valuable. Now I've got 4 story points to spend. I'm going to choose to play Toto and Field Mice. So Toto costs 2, and Field Mice, a minor character, costs 2. But notice Field Mice has got a large victory point value, 5 vitality. So let's play Toto first. So I need to take 2 story points from my dice and spend those. And then I get to play Toto at the start title card. So all cards you play will go under a location. They start here on the left hand title card, and they're going to move as we move them along the story from location to location. And now I'm going to spend my other 2 story points to play the Field Mice. And I'll play them in just exactly the same way. I'll place them here underneath the start title of the storyline. I don't have any story points left, so that's going to end my turn. But before I end my turn, and right at the end of the turn, you get something called a bonus movement, when every character in play gets to move, and you can move them in either direction down the storyline. So I'm going to choose to move Toto 1 spot to the right. But first let's reveal the location there, because some of these locations have extra costs. You might want to have to keep some story points in reserve from your dice rolls in order to enter that location. So what you do is you flip it face up and check that this is a location you can enter. And it's Box Home. So these locations represent places that came in the Wizard of Oz books. I've not read them myself, but I don't know who Box Home is, but maybe if you do, you'll know. It has keywords, it's a farm interior and it's in Oz, and it's got some special text here that says good characters are vitality +1. So we'll move Box Home into our storyline, and we'll move Toto 1 spot to the right as part of his free character move. Box Home says good characters are vitality +1, so Toto's a good character. He has this icon here that says he's good. He's this kind of greenish border. And this star here, this is the symbol that says he's a good character. So Toto's vitality is now 3 for as long as he remains at this location. And during this bonus move you can move every character, so we'll move the Field Mice as well. They're also good characters. And that ends our turn, so we'll change our turn marker from 1 to 2. So we start a new turn. This is our hand. We don't draw any cards or anything like that. All we'll do is we'll re-roll our dice. So we get our 4 dice. But in addition, for every character that you have in your storyline, in play in the storyline, being on the title card doesn't count as in play. So we've moved these 2 here now. For every character on the storyline in play, we get 2 gold dice in addition to the 4 blue ones. Wow, what a roll. We got 6 story points to spend. Now you may be wondering, well, what's the point? We know we need to get a prime character to the end, but what's the point of these other characters? Well, if and when you get a prime character to the end, what you're going to do is you're going to score for all the characters that you've got remaining in the storyline, and that's going to be your score. And obviously playing solitaire, the aim is to beat your high score. But some of the other things you can do with your dice are you can spend 1 story point to draw a new card. So let's do that. Keeping your hand full of cards by spending story points is pretty valuable. I drew green glass spectacles, and these are an object. They actually help you get through some locations. As we move along and we reveal more of these locations, what you'll find is they're not all as pleasant as Boxhome. And we'll try and reveal a new location now, actually, because one of the other things you can do with your story points, as well as drawing cards with one or playing cards from your hand, is you can spend 1 story point to move 1 character along the storyline, either to the left or to the right. So let's do that. Let's spend 1 story point, and we'll look to move Toto 1 spot to the right. Let's reveal our next location. It is the Emerald City Plaza, and this says 1 extra story point is required by each character to enter unless equipped with green glass spectacles. Okay. Well, that's not so bad. We do have some green glass spectacles, and they have a 0 cost to play. And you can do that straight away, alright? So if a location required extra story points, although we've just spent 1 story point to move 1 space to the right, and there's extra requirements to move into that location, we didn't know that until we'd revealed them. So you are free to then spend extra story points to complete that movement if you wish, and put some objects down as well. I can equip the glasses to Toto, and then I can safely move onto the Emerald City Plaza. Now I'm going to spend 1 more story point to draw another card, and I get an effect. This is blue is the colour of the Munchkins archive all non-blue cards in play. Okay, so this is an attacking card, so I'm going to archive this and get to roll a gold die. And this is the thing in solitaire, you know, do think about what you're doing, think about when you want to archive things, when you want to roll new dice, when you want to draw new cards, and it can all be critical to your success. And yeah, good roll, we get an extra story point. So we're back to 4. So let's repeat it one more time. We're going to spend a story point and use it to draw a card, and we get Cyclone. I'm going to archive this one and roll another dice. Hope we do better this time. We failed, so the result of all that is we lost a story point. But that's okay. I'm going to use 3 story points, and I'm going to play... I did think about playing this lower cost one, but I think that what are the chances in only 6 turns of getting both Uncle Henry and Aunt Em out? Not so good. So I'm going to choose to play Dorothy Dressed for Travel, because she'll give me Vitality +1 when she's at a blue Oz location. So spend these 3, and we'll place Dorothy Dressed for Travel here at the starting title card. Now it's our free movement, so I'm going to move Dorothy, who I just played, up 1 spot. I'm going to move Toto up 1 spot. So I need to reveal this location. And we get Glinda's Palace. And we can move there just fine. I'm going to have Toto take the glasses with him. Now the field mice have their free move, and I mean there's no incentive to move them unless your character is going to benefit from something. Now Dorothy here, she's better at a blue Oz location, so keep her there. Field mice, there's no benefit to moving to the Emerald City, even though they potentially can, so I'm just going to keep them there. Okay, let's move to turn 3. And I have 3 characters in play now, so I get 3 bonus dice. Let's take my 4 blue dice and 3 bonus gold dice. Alright, that's okay. I got 5 story points. With only 1 card, Dorothy Kansas Farm Girl in my hand and a Dorothy already in play. I mean, if I play this, it's worth 3 vitality, but it would mean that the Dorothy which is already in play would get archived, so there's no incentive for me to play this second Dorothy. So instead I'm going to spend a story point and draw a card, and I get Bejeweled Silver Oil Can. I don't have any metal characters, so let's draw another card. And I get another object, Gold Collar. Okay, that's not so helpful either. I mean, I could play the Gold Collar to the field mice, and the field mice are animals. But I think for now, let's move Toto up with the story point. Reveal this new location. It is the castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, that's not so good. It says good and neutral characters are vitality -2 and require 1 extra story point to move to or from this location. That's not so good, is it? So, I mean, I could keep it there, but what I'm going to do is just show you what else you can do. With 2 story points, you can actually change your location and grab a new one from the location folio. So let's do that. Spend my last 2 story points and I'll grab a new location, and this gets played face up, and it is a field of daisies, and that's much better. So this replaces the castle, and the castle just goes onto the bottom of the deck, so if you ever do recycle, it's going to come back up again. And now I can use my bonus movement to move Toto up to the field of daisies. That's the end of turn 3 to turn 4, so I've only got 4, 5 and 6 left, 3 turns left. So it's 4 blue dice, and with 3 characters in play, that's 3 gold dice. And I get 5 story points once more. I do want to keep a focus on my mission objective, which is to get to the end of the story, so I'm going to spend 1 story point and get Toto moving again. Let's reveal this new location, and it's Poppy Fields. So we can move in here just fine, but moving from it is another story. We're not doing too badly, we've only got 2 places to go and we're on turn 4. I think at this stage I'm going to try and grab some more cards. So let's spend a story point, grab a new card, and I get the oil can. This isn't helping. It's another object that affects metal characters. Let's spend another, draw another card. And I draw King Crow. That's not too bad. So we've got a character finally. This is an evil character. It has this 3-pronged fork or crown here. It's an animal, bird, male, minor. It has this icon here which says it's magical, and it has flying. Flying means that it can ignore the effects of locations. It just kind of flies over these locations. Unfortunately, it costs 3 story points and I've only got 2, but what I am going to do at this point is play the gold collar, and yeah, it's equipped to an animal, but you can play these things to locations as well. It's -1 if played to a yellow Oz location. Field of Dreams is a yellow Oz location. So I'm going to play it here, and what I'd like to do, it's going to cost me 1 story point, is get these field mice moving down to the Field of Dreams. So I'm going to spend a story point, and I'll move the field mice into the Emerald City Plaza. It says that they're not affected by movement restrictions, so they can move there without needing the green glass spectacles. Let's have everyone moving with their free bonus movements now at the end of this turn, so field mice are going to move up to Glinda's Palace, and Toto's going to move. So let's reveal our final location, and it is Uncle Henry's farm. Magical events, effects and objects may not be played here, and characters are vitality -1. So we don't really want characters moving here, but we're quite happy for Toto to move there. He's only one step away from the game end now. Let's move to turn 5, penultimate turn, and we've still only got 7 dice. 4 blue, 3 gold. Oh, a terrible roll. We only get 3 story points. Well, I could draw some cards, but I'm actually going to... Yeah, why don't I start archiving some of these cards that I don't think I'm going to use. So Dorothy Farm Girl, and a couple of metal objects here. Well, let's get them rid of them one at a time. So Dorothy, Kansas Farm Girl, and this is going to give me 1 gold die. Hopefully luck will be with us. No. So let's get rid of the bejeweled silver oil can. So we'll archive this one and roll 1 more gold dice. Nope, still no good. And then finally we'll archive the oil can because we don't have any metal characters in our hand or in play. Come on, trying for this extra story point. And we've got it finally. Okay, and I'm going to spend this extra 1 to draw another card. And we get another character, another crow, Old Crow. Well, these aren't particularly great cards because they're not worth very many vitality. Let's play the King Crow for 3 story points. And of course, he goes here on the start title card. Bonus movement now, and I don't want to move Toto to the end just yet because we've got another turn to go, so let's leave him there. However, we will move the field mice down to the field of daisies, and we get +1 vitality from the field of daisies, plus we can then wear this gold collar. And then finally we'll move the King Crow onto the storyline at Box House. Final turn then. Turn 6. We now have 4 characters in play, so we're going to get 4 bonus gold dice. Here we are. Hope for something good on our final turn. Okay. We have 6 story points to spend. First thing's easy. I'm going to put Old Crow into play from my hand with 1 story point. Now let's grab some cards. And I get a Wicked Witch of the West. That's a shame because she's going to cost me 7. I'm not going to be able to play her, but her scores are quite high. Let's try again. Of course, every time I do this, I'm reducing my spending power. Bread and butter is a food object. There's definitely some potential to play this, but let me archive the Wicked Witch of the West first, since I'm not going to put her into play. Grab another gold dice. Yeah, I get the extra story point, which I'm going to spend to grab another card. And I get a Munchkin Baby. I think I'm going to have to spend, I'm going to spend 1 more, just in case I manage to get something even better. And no, King of the Winged Monkeys. Let's archive this and roll a gold dice. I mean, the monkeys is good, but I just don't have enough story points to pay for it. Unlucky. The luck ran out. So, I think I'm going to have to stick with these. Let's pay one and put the Munchkin Baby into play. And this doesn't go on the start title. Instead, it says maybe played to any good location at any time. Well, Box Home is a good location. You can see it has the good icon at the top here, this green thing. So, yeah, that's definitely where I'm going to play the Munchkin Baby. Okay. And with my final point, I'm going to play the Bread and Butter with cost 1. It says equipped human is vitality +1, so this is going to go on Dorothy. Or the baby. I'll just put it on the baby. It says non-food objects. It can't be equipped with, and this is food. Okay, our free movement now. Toto's going to move down to the end title card, but before we do that, Old Crow's going to move off the start into Box House as well. And finally then, to end the game, Toto moves to the end title card and we count the score, but his vitality doesn't count. Let's count our scores. So we've got field mice here, they're worth 5. They don't have any bonuses here, but they get +1 from the gold collar, so that's 6. And also, Field of Daisies says that non-animate characters are vitality +1, so that's 7. And then we move down to Box House. So we have all good characters of vitality +1 from this location. We have Dorothy with 3. Vitality is +1 at Blue Oz locations, which Box House is. So that's 5 for Dorothy. Munchkin Baby is also a good character and is at a good location, so it gets vitality +1, so that's 2.5, and then we get the bonus from the Bread and Butter +1, so that's 3.5 for the Munchkin Baby. And then we look at the crows. King Crow is evil and Old Crow is neutral, so they're not going to get any benefit from being at Box Home. But King Crow does say that other birds are vitality +1, and this is a bird. So this Old Crow is vitality 2, and King Crow is vitality 3. So our final score is 20.5, and that's not too bad. Well, that's it, that was game over. It's a nice little game, and you know, lots of strategy there for solitaire play, lots of new cards that are going to come out. All you need to do now is get over to Kickstarter and support this game. I'll leave a link in the YouTube description. Bye for now.